Some people don't celebrate their birthday, not because they're sad, not because they have no one, but because they've understood something most people spend their whole life avoiding. Stay with me, because by the end of this, the way you see birthdays will never be quite the same. We all grow up with the same belief. Birthdays are supposed to feel special. You're supposed to want the cake, the attention, the noise, and if you don't, people assume something is wrong with you. But here's what most people miss entirely. For a lot of people, it's not about hating birthdays. It's about something much deeper, something they've never been able to explain. And in a moment, I'm going to show you exactly what that is. Picture a small kid. No decorations, no candles, no party, just two small pieces of sugar placed quietly in their hand. "Happy birthday," someone says, without really looking. And then the day just moves on, like it didn't matter. That kid doesn't decide birthdays are unimportant. They learn something else entirely. They learn that expecting something hurts. Maybe that wasn't you, or maybe it was. Now fast forward, it's your birthday again. Your phone starts lighting up. "Happy birthday. Have an amazing day. Stay blessed." Message after message from people you haven't talked to in months. You reply each time, "Thank you," again and again. And somewhere in the middle of all that, you pause. Because the worst part isn't who forgot. It's realizing how many people only remembered because an app told them to. And here's what I want you to understand. This isn't indifference. It's something they learned the hard way. You're at a restaurant, it's your birthday, someone tells the staff, and suddenly, the clapping starts. The song begins. Every head in the room turns toward you. Someone is already filming on their phone. Your friend says, "Come on, smile, enjoy it." So you smile, but your shoulders are tight. Your hands don't know where to go. You're not enjoying it. You're just waiting for it to end. Everyone thinks it was a nice moment. You were just trying to survive it. They don't hate birthdays. They hate forced attention. Attention that arrives on schedule, not because it's real, but because it was supposed to. There's a difference between being loved and being reminded of. And once you've felt that difference, you can't unfeel it. Now, here's what I want you to sit with. They'll tell everyone, "Don't plan anything for me," and they mean it when they say it. But then the day arrives, and somewhere around 6 p.m., they pick up their phone, not to check notifications, not to read the messages from coworkers and distant cousins. They're looking for one specific thing, one name, someone who would have remembered on their own, without a reminder, without seeing it on a profile page. And when that message doesn't come, they put the phone down. They go back to what they were doing, and if anyone asks, they say the same thing they always say. "I don't really care about birthdays," but that's not the whole story, because here's the part nobody talks about. Stay with me here. You wake up on your birthday morning. Before you even open your eyes, something feels different. Not bad, not good, just heavier than yesterday. You reach for your phone. The date is right there on the screen. And for a second, you just stare at it. Not at the notifications, not at the messages already coming in, just the number, the age. Maybe it's 29, maybe it's 34, maybe it's a number that means something you haven't admitted out loud yet. You put the phone face down, because somewhere in your chest, something just shifted. You're a year older, and time didn't ask if you were ready. It didn't wait until you figured things out, until you became who you meant to become, until you did the thing you kept telling yourself you'd do. This year, last year, the year before that. It just moved. And somewhere in that silence, before the day begins, your mind goes somewhere people don't talk about at birthday parties. You think about the people who won't call today, not because they forgot, because they're gone. And this day, more than any other, makes that absence feel concrete. A birthday doesn't celebrate how far you've come. Sometimes it just marks how much time has passed. And the worst part isn't the number. It's realizing you've been counting, that quiet wait. That's why some people make the day smaller, not out of sadness, out of self-protection. And this is where most people get it completely wrong. They assume these people feel nothing. But some of them have become so good at not expecting anything that they don't know how to receive it anymore. Someone does something genuinely kind for their birthday, a real effort, something thoughtful, And instead of feeling touched, they feel suspicious. Why? What do they want? Because somewhere along the way, kindness started feeling like a setup. And what you're about to hear next changes everything. There's a version of this that goes even deeper. Someone you know, maybe you, they've had the birthday where everyone showed up. The balloons, the cake, the group photo where everyone's smiling. And they sat there the whole time, watching it happen, like they were observing a celebration for someone else, someone wearing their face. Not because the people weren't real, because the version of themselves they were expected to be that day wasn't. So the next year they said, don't do anything. And slowly, that became the answer to everything. Don't expect, don't perform, don't let anyone close enough to disappoint you. So when someone plans a party, when the cake appears and everyone starts clapping, it doesn't feel like love. It feels like a test they didn't study for. So what do? Simple. They make themselves smaller that day. They keep it quiet. They say it doesn't matter. And to a certain extent, it works. But here's the part they rarely say out loud. The evening ends. You get home, you close the door, and the silence lands differently than usual. Your face is tired, not from the day itself, but from the version of yourself you held together all day. The one that smiled when someone said, enjoy it. The one that replied, thank you 30 times with the right emoji. You sit down, you don't turn on the TV, you just sit. And somewhere in that quiet, a question forms. Not a dramatic one, not even a sad one, just honest. Is this where I thought I'd be? You don't answer it, you just let it sit there. Because some questions aren't meant to be answered on your birthday. They're just meant to be felt. So here's what this is really about. This is the part the title was pointing to all along. These people are not broken. They are not cold. They are not distant. They're just the only ones not pretending. They don't hate birthdays. They hate fake birthdays. Fake attention, fake warmth, scheduled love. Because fake happiness feels worse than no happiness at all. What they actually want is something real. A genuine message, a quiet moment, someone who remembered without being told, not a notification, a person. And here's the moment nobody ever talks about. Some of them will spend the whole day secretly hoping for something they would never ask for. A call, not a text, an actual voice on the other end. Someone saying their name, not happy birthday, followed by a GIF. Just them, present, for a minute. And if it doesn't come, they won't mention it. They'll say it was a normal day, and they'll mean it, almost. They're not the ones who don't feel. They're the ones who refuse to lie about what they feel. And that's not a wound. That's the most honest thing about them. The quietest birthdays, for them, those are the most honest ones. And maybe the people who celebrate the loudest are the ones who need it the most. Think about that. So when your birthday comes and it feels quiet, maybe it's not emptiness. Maybe it's the first honest birthday you've had. Because some people don't hate birthdays. They just stopped pretending. If this felt familiar, you don't have to explain it. Just write one word in the comments, the one that stayed with you. And if no one has said it yet, happy birthday, the real one, not the performance. And if understanding why people think, feel, and behave the way they do matters to you, you're exactly where you should be.